Hey guys, my name is Seniac and welcome back to another episode of CanalTown here in City Skylines, where last episode, guys, we did some more expansions. We expanded a brand new highway and we extended the train line as well. We kind of divided up our two little cargo harbors, which has really added more flexibility of importing and exporting the goods. So much, in fact, that it's kind of majority have solved all of the industrial issues. Now, there's still a few more bits and bobs that I need to do. I need to get that extended train line in that will connect up the two now singular, which do connect. It's really complicated, but I'll explain it in just a moment. Gonna get all that connections in as well. And I want to try and play around with a little bit more of the industry, just kind of get that up all and sorted. Now, I do know I did say I was going to build some industries, either a farming or a fishing. But I'm going to be honest with you right now, since my landscaping tools are completely broken, it's kind of a little bit of a difficult struggle. I used the extra landscaping mud tool, whatever it's called. I can't find any alternatives. They all seem to break. Can't get any natural resources. I just want to cry. But if you got any suggestions, let me know in the comment section down below. I'm just too lazy to open up the Steam Workshop. Guys, welcome back to another episode. If you are enjoying this series, make sure you smash that like button down below. And if you are new around here, make sure you do subscribe so you get notified when the next episode does come out. But we're back anyway, boys. We are back, and this is what we did last episode. We built this brand new highway extension, which seems quite elaborate and OTT, but I absolutely love. I love how freaking kind of crazy it is. It kind of extends all the way down to this roundabout where it originally just kind of ended. We've extended a brand new train line because originally it came. Well, it's a weird trumpet that came and down and then looped to a little cargo harbor here. What we've done instead, rather than bringing ships all the way up, we bring ships now to the two split harbors with two different train lines as they all now go up. The one on the right takes a turn here. The one on the left goes straight on, trumpets there and kind of connects to wherever you need it to go. The other one follows the highway down, and there's a double connection here for some imports, exports, which has, it might not seem it, but it has dramatically reduced the traffic. Trumpets there, which this line goes all the way up and does connect up to this line again. But the connection for these two lines, this line there and this line there, happen here and over here. So they've got to go all the way up there. So I want to do like a connection that kind of comes through. Now, it's going to seem a little bit weird at the moment, it just being there. It's going to feel like it's so freaking isolated until I build more around it. I also could do a kind of a split connection there, and that would solve a lot of the issues, but I don't want to do that because it's split on different runs, and plus, if I move it further in, it shortens the route between the two a whole lot easier, and we might see then a lot more traffic being reduced because a lot of vehicles like to drive down here. It's easier to connect rather than going all, which is currently all the way around here on the train. So we're going to try and build something here. I don't know how good it's going to go, how simple it's going to go. It's probably going to hurt my brain, but it should be a lot of fun. Right, so we know we're going to have a highway connection there. And then that is pretty much going to probably maybe run off in that direction or whatever. Could even go in that direction, I don't know. It's only time will tell. But I do need to create some type of a trumpet kind of connection. Now, what I could do is I could create it like here, so it kind of spins around and then goes over that way, cross, and then down and in, just to utilize this triangle. So if I build it there, I've got this awkward space to kind of then build around. So I don't know how well this is going to ultimately go, but we'll play around with a couple of little designs right now. So let's get our trains and let's kind of bring it up to a 10. And what will be kind of useful is if I can maybe make this go in an organized route. So if I brought it down to there, and maybe turned it slightly, go across. Actually, it's fine, so I'm going to bring it from there. So, I mean, we can have a lot of turns and bends anyway. But I'm trying to figure out what is the best method for me to currently go across. So if I go to here, right there, and that be my bridge at the moment. I know it seems completely random, but when I build this area up, it's going to be a nice little focal point, which is going to be quite exciting. So if I build that there, and that will lead down a few wiggles and bends, just to go underneath both of these to then trumpet to connect them. Now this, I'm going to kind of get it to bend this way, and then bend back in to then trumpet round. So when I build this area, we got this nice wiggly little train. I mean, I can just bring it straight down and loop it that way, but I want some fun times thrown in. So if that bent like this, so it started to bend there, and then we kind of go for a long turnaround. So if I pick that little strip there as where it's got to come around and bend to, I've got some like kind of points that I can now build up towards. I could actually as well, I think I might be able to get away with this, use the connection tool, and then if I go a little bit bigger, that kind of works out fairly well. I mean, how much of a bend do I want to throw into it is the next question. I could go something like this, which solves all my issues. It's how much you... I mean, because that's a decent bend. It's how much you want this to bend here. If I'm into, like, the maximum there, I could go. It ain't too bad. Do you know what? I'll go to the maximum. It will be kind of fun to see that kind of bend take place. Ooh. Ooh la la, Zodiac. The bends right now. The bends. So now... we got to try and create, and now this will be the most difficult part of the whole of this right now, is getting the trumpet in order. So if I went to there, doing a 21 is a little bit more difficult. If I went there, so if I went by a 3, doing a trumpet now is not too difficult. I could do my 21 there, wait for that train to go past. Bam. And then I should be able to do my 21 there. Bam. Is that train? Have I broken that train? Are you okay, train? Have I now broken you? I think I might have slightly broken that train. I don't know what happened there, but I killed it off. And then I've got to somehow now create this as a bend, which becomes, like I said, a little bit more difficult. So if I bring the train line back up, now it's going to be quite a harsh bend, which I'm not going to be a huge fan of. But we'll see what it suggests for us. Now, I'm not going to get much out of this, other than maybe something like this. But what I could do, I mean, that's crazy. What I could do now is I could delete this, going back to about there. And let's see if I can kind of then create the connections. I wonder if I go, the further back I go, the more I can create the bend, which it doesn't want to... What is going on with this? Is there a different method I gotta use? The curve mode? Oh! Excuse me! Well, this is very interesting. That's a bit too crazy. I don't want that one. Create loop mode. I don't want a loop mode. Even though the loop mode here... Can I, like, decrease or increase? Okay, that's the minimum I can take it. Okay, might have pushed it a little bit too far. Okay, what I'll do is we'll kind of build this up ourselves. So if I go back up to a plus, actually no, stick to here, and we've kind of got to bend with it in a weird way. So I could maybe go, and I gotta do something like this, which is a lot more difficult than you kind of think it would be. Oh no, what if I did go plus 10? What if I did it there? So move it a little bit closer than what we would normally do. No, it's not going to work. I feel. Do you know what? I think the issue could be? I need to be a bit closer to the highway. So if I came like there, because being closer gives us more of a natural bend in. I think that's one of my other issues. So there to there. Smack us up to there. And would you say that works, or do you reckon I need to go back this way instead? So if I did that little section there, connect into there instead. This is the difficult part when you're trying to work with like really close and tight areas. Especially if you want it to look kind of semi-nice. Wait, what's going on here? Boys, what's going on? How has this happened? What mode am I on? What's going on? What's going on with this connection? I have no freaking idea. Right, forget this, because this is now getting slightly annoying. So, we'll kind of run, and we'll keep it, put it to normal first. So we'll kind of run a 5 just there. So I should be able to create a 4 by 4 bend, and then we're in. So it's not too detrimental to the curvature. Now, here, now we're at almost at like a 90 degrees, so the bend shouldn't be crazy when it comes to this. So if I page this up right now to the 10 that we had originally, and I'm going to run it to just here for now, we should then be able to get this to there. No questions asked. See, I would like it to kind of be a bit more bulky. So what if I... Where's that there? That's a 32, but there to there is a 12. So if I do a 20, in reality, it's a 12 by 12 bend. Why was that so difficult in the end? I don't know. This might be painful. It kind of works. It kind of works, and I kind of like it. So we're going to upgrade now the elevations on a lot of this. I've got to sort that. Is that all? That's actually all connected, believe it or not. There to there. So then what we do now is we create a nice elevation change. So keeping it all up and running to this point, and then this is where we'll start the bend to then happen. So bring it to there. Nice gradual incline, decline, where you want to kind of call it. Which some of it could technically be stuck to the ground, thinking about it. So I wonder what we can kind of get away with. Nah. Maybe there, maybe just here, and then that's it. Yeah. So that is sound, mate. That's sorted. That's good GG work for everybody. So we're going to bring this. Now, I could keep the whole of this elevated going down, but I don't want to, because I know at some point it's got to reach under both of these. So bring this down to a 0, and we're going to have to work with doing some form of a trumpetto. So I'm going to pick... If I just go there and then move across, so I'm in the middle almost, which is there. Run that right through. And we'll build our little trumpet to begin with. So if I go by another 5, do you reckon that's out far enough? Let's do another 5. To then bring it around and then connect in. That's what I'm hoping for. So if I stick with a standard 10 by 10. Now I will have to elevate this going all the way up and round. But I'll just start elevating here anyway. So how far away did I technically do this trumpetto? So it's almost like a 14-ish, isn't it? So, I know it's a bit different going that way. So, okay, I reckon I've got another 5 in me. And then, is it a 21 now? 21. And then here, 21. Now, that all connects beautifully. I don't see any issues at the moment. No. 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 So then to quickly elevate that run into here. That's as far as we'll take it with that. So the elevation change on this. And I'm going to go from the top to there. And then here to there is as a natural. Because that's going down anyway. So it kind of like dips back down slightly. So it kind of trumpets and then kind of pivots on a slight angle as the elevation changes for it. That's quite cool. So, not bad. We'll go with it. I mean, there's other stuff I could do to make it look kind of nicer. You could, if you wanted to, select the node and go 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And kind of bring them in. 2, 1, 2. 1, 2, 1, 2. And then from that, you just create a little bit of more of a curvature. But still trying to keep that 21. You know what I mean? That's what we got to go for. I'm trying to do the same over here real quick. Unbelievable. This is 21 as well. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then bend these a tiny bit. It's just enough where it kind of just looks kind of nice. So these are all connected, aren't they, before I move forward? Yes, 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 yes. So now then, we've got to get this connected to there, which is a straightforward connection. It really is a straightforward connection. My only question would be now then, how long do I keep it elevated for before it drops down? Do I keep it elevated the whole way and it only drops down here? The decisions, mate. I mean, I'm sure at some point when I start to build in this area, I'm going to change it. So with that said, why don't I just raise it straight up to a 10? We raise this as well, then I'll kind of angle it up. And then just use a straight connection. Let's go bam to bam. And we'll go maximum on the bend. Just for the fun. For the fun of it. There we go. Simple, yet effective. I could have just elevated over the whole highway, to be honest with you. And not had to deal with any of this, but... 'tis what it is. It's part of the funsies. We might change it in the future, who knows. So now, technically, we are connected. We are now connected. And trains can now use this new route. As OTT as it may seem, once the buildings are all kind of built around it, it's going to look really, really good. Now, is this going to affect... I've just realised, is this going to affect my on and off ramp situation? Now, I chose to kind of build this as I've built it in the past, kind of stuff like this. So if I get these roads back up, what type of roads are they? Are they these roads? Yes, they are. Let me delete that. Oh, no! I deleted too much. Alright, we'll rebuild this. So this is like a 10 away, isn't it? So from there to there. I don't know why I've chosen to do it like that. But that's a 10 away. Now, I don't want it a 10 away, do I? I want it about a 5 away. Why am I so in the sky? That's from the train lines, isn't it? So if I do a 5... Right, and if I do this, a 5, but bring it down to Earth. There we go. And sink all this down. And then make this and this the same elevation as you. That was difficult. We are now going to do my old tactic of... We'll use these little one-way roads, they'll be fine. Of creating slip roads. So if I go I mean, I could just kind of keep it simple and go a 5 and then bend that in. Because normally I'll do a 10. But with the limited space that I've now got, realizing... I mean, I could move this whole connection further down the road a little bit. But it starts to bend there and it kind of gets away from us. So if I do my little highway ramp connections, so if I go, what looks good? A 15, 14. Do you know what, a 14 looks pretty decent. I'll do a 14. 14. Oh, don't you play these games. Don't you play these games. Is that a 14 there? Yes. $14. Oh, that's kind of messed up. Let's try that one again. 14. So 14's all the way around? Yes. So, obviously, connect you like that, you're going in the right direction. Flip you around. Right direction. There we go. And then just quickly sort this out. So we're going to have to also set up this to be in a singular road. Now I'm hoping these are not going to be too dramatically used. I don't really like the waves and bumps that it's creating. But it might change as we add in the rest of the stuff that's needed. So if I grab you to go underneath, I mean, it would be ideal if I bulk those into a little bit more of a chunky turn-off. Highways, that is the highway ramp, which I then turn this to because, you know, lane math. And we just sort these out real quick. So that's how it works. It's a 2-laner turning off. Just simply works like this. That might be a bit of a tricky thing there because of where the nodes currently sit. So I'm just going to double up on those. And that connects us to there. So my only kind of concern would be is the physical amount of traffic coming on and off these ramps. I could bulk these up into, when it comes to this point, 2 lanes. So you got a dedicated left and right, and we can filter out twice as much traffic. But we'll see what happens on that. We'll see what happens. So straight away, I've got one connection for it, which would be there for this industrial area. And then we access it. So we got access now to build on this little bit of land. That's going to end there, obviously, because I don't want a connection so freaking close, unless I make that go as an underground to kind of continue the momentum going around. I don't know. But we have a connection. We'll see what happens. We will see what happens. So are we seeing any trains use my brand new section? Let me have a little bit of a fast forward. And we'll get some stuff moving. I feel like I want to slightly reconfigure a lot of this as well. Maybe I don't think I want so much garbage over here, and I probably want to start building a little bit more office. Because I feel like having too much industrial in one kind of spot just looks like a huge mess. It looks like a hot mess, doesn't it, boys? It really does. Oh, there we go. Trains for days. Oh my goodness me. We got a train choo-chooing there. We got 2 there. 2 there. 1 there. 1 there. Oh my goodness me, has this become the place to be? Is this the place? Oh, we got a passenger train using it there. Is this the place to be, boys? Shows you, like, you know, how much it was actually needed. Now, I don't know if it's going to reduce the amount of traffic going around these mean streets, but I'm sure we'll soon find out. And as tight-knit as that is, it kind of works out for the most part with a couple of vehicles turning on and off. So, not overly heavy demanded, because normally I would build it like, well, in this kind of city, I'm building like this, dropping a roundabout in. That's a more simplified version, but I'm hoping we don't get too much traffic overwhelming that. That'll be my next slight issue. Now, industry. I know we're building a nice little industrial patch going around here, which is not too bad. I feel like we're going to regret building huge chunks of it, which is why I might think of placing down roads for offices. Let me get the industrial roads up here. So, yeah, I could build this up to there. It's a 10 going through. But that going this way and ending there, because I feel like I'm going to utilize this as a slight bridge going across. I'll just put it to there for now. And then I'm going to build some offices along this little strip. Have we got water here? Not really. Now, we do have quite a bit of industrial around here. And I don't want too much of the dirty industrial. I don't want too much of it. Because, I don't know, we got this like huge tech industry. But that office is not tech industry based. Well, IT cluster, I should say. It's not IT clustery. So it's a different type of industry to what we've got over there. So that will kind of hopefully satisfy some of the industrial demand, thus giving us industrial zoning, but not it being too dirty and polluted. That's what I'm hoping for. That's what I'm hoping for. And it's like kind of what I want to do over here. I kind of want to, I mean, I know I've got a couple of patches of it, but like, I don't know if that's as far as I would want to take it. I definitely want to move this garbage stuff, because that's kind of like a slight hindrance. But anyway, all that industrial, you need the commercial to back it up. So let's extend over this way a little bit as well. Right. How far would we go with these canal systems again right now? Let me bring up the canals. And we're going across by a 34. Is that a 34 as well? That's 33. It's such a weird number, isn't it? I've already done a I mean, I can't read it. Let me pause. I don't know how I decided that that was the magic number. $34 and down. So 34. Yeah, it's such a weird number to kind of implement, isn't it? Now, if I go by a 30, and I'm now going to semi-run. Oh, you can't run diagonal because of the bend. But if I cut out of this there and then ran down like that, gives me this space to work with. I'm just trying to bulk up as much of these areas as I can. So let the water now run its course. And then we'll build up some more of the zoning right now. So, roads, we're utilizing the ones with trees. And we're going to go as far as it will allow me. Cutting through there. Straight up. Straight down. And then, little bridge over. We've got bridges in the middle going over, yes. Little bridge over. Little bridge over. So we'll have more going over to that side, eventually. But let's just kind of focus on this for a minute. So get all these now connected in. So that would go to there, which would then kind of go to here. Which, if I bring this out first. Bam. Run that to there. That's... Oh, we've got a little bit of flooding. That's how the outer perimeter would go. Like how we've been doing it everywhere else. And I wonder if I can get away with a little bit more of a better zoning situation. Like 10 by 10s. And then if I do a 10... That junction there might be a bit too close. But let me just see how far I can take these 10 by 10s. By 10. 10 by 10. Now, the road is on the train line, which is interesting. So that connects like that. So I've got these little bit open spaces. Put a few little parks and stuff down. So the train line goes over the road. That's interesting, to say the least. I might have to reorganize and reconfigure some of the kind of steps. But I like that. I like it goes over. It kind of gives you that industrial vibe. Yeah. So keep that as it is, which means the only connection into this area right now is there, which is not the best idea. But it works anyway. What I could do from this leading across is raise this up by a 10. So keeping it in the pattern. Just kind of go over slightly, because we do have the ability here to bring this road up. Now if I just bring that down... It gives us another entry point, especially for the workers. And this area with the train line, how it is. It's going to be so complex and kind of overly complicated. With unders, overs, Pepsi, Colas, and all that kind of jazz. The area is going to feel really intertwined in this section. It's where industry kind of meets infrastructure. You just get the overwhelmingness of trying to kind of navigate these walkways, tunnels, bridges, roads, you know, all that kind of jazz. So that's kind of, I mean, I'm only doing it just to kind of give this area access for the most part at the moment. So we do have this kind of large commercial demand, which will go high density again. Now I know we've got high density there, and we've got low density residential, which we're eventually going to probably switch that over to high density residential. But just spend that commercial demand once more. Get that shifted out of here. And I cannot believe we got the huge kind of industrial demands that we've got. Which is why we need to build an industry. Seniac, come on boy, come on. I mean, we've got like a load of commercial down here as well. And just no residential growth. I'm sure at some point we're going to have some serious... Look, we got high unemployment rates. Yo, we actually have high... Okay, now it makes sense to why we got huge commercial demands and industrial demands. Seniac, build some jobs. Build some freaking jobs. So that spends all that demand. It's more industrial that they want. Isn't it? It's more industrial that they want. Which is why I need to build this industry, guys. And I've seen all the comments, and the preferred choice was farming. So I'm going to have to build a farming industry. Because these fools really want to work. They really want to get to work, don't they? So little tweaks here and there. We made some nice little improvements, especially for the way we can now transfer cargo. Wouldn't say it's solving any issues with the traffic right now. They still kind of technically want to drive. But you got to figure out where they're now going. So if they're coming up to here, going all the way up. Are they driving out of the region? So yeah, you can't really do much about that if they're just generally exporting the goods. This vehicle here, exporting forestry products, exporting... delivering goods to the Neptune store meter. So here. So you got to think about places and where it will kind of benefit. Maybe train stops. Now, obviously, it wouldn't benefit one. Well, it would benefit, but it'll be a bit ridiculous. How do I get out of this view now? There we go. Placing one here. But the fact that we can now export there to there, not technically closer. So they have to kind of go around through here, drive down. Again, not too good. What about if we had like a little passing ship passing goods over? I don't know. You got to think about this stuff. We need other little cargo stops here and there. And that's what we got to really try and utilize and think about in the next coming episodes. Especially if we're going to start building industries. Wherever I build the farming industry, we need to also think about the train stop. But we'll end it for here, guys. Only some slight improvements right now. But it's going to lead us up now to hopefully building the industry in the next episode. 100%. I will not forget it. I promise you. Hope you did enjoy this. If you did, smash that like button down below. Until next time I see you all soon.